Good evening, everybody. Those were words. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome you all to Bradford City Schools School Board meeting for November 12th. Can I please have a moment of silence? Would those care to join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? Ms. Boyd, would you like to lead us tonight?
Yes, certainly. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. Has everybody gotten a chance to review the agenda? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda? And second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. All right, our school and student showcase.
Thank you very much. We'll begin tonight with Mr. Cole Wilder from Bell Heath Elementary School with a presentation.
All right, and I'm just going to introduce the person. So at Bell Heath, we've done something new this year with our sixth graders. It's the first year that they've been able to choose their elective. Because if you think about it, at any other school, a sixth grader would be having an elective. And we've noticed that the kids are kind of tired of going to library, then guidance, then art, and never really getting to dive into something. And Miss Saunders is doing our sixth grade art, and she has dove in full steam, and she's going to share her project that she did with her kids this year.
It's really nice this year. We get to have the kids 4 times a week instead of just the one half an hour.
Wow.
Sure.
And one of the things that we did is we got hold of Glencoe and we worked together and we created a coloring book for their young patrons.
Thank you.
So the kids, we took a field trip over to Glencoe, and then we took photos. We had our iPads with us, took photos. They came back and they drew from the photos and from some research. And they also used the Google Drawing app, and they were able to take the photos and change some of those photos into pictures from there too. So some technology use as far as it. And then they did a little bit of writing. Some of them chose to write a little bit, and we use chat, whatever that is.
GPT.
That Cole showed me about to change our words just a little bit to make them a little bit simplified. And put together a nice little book, and we wanted to come and share it with you because we were proud of them. And
That is
we're
awesome.
gonna sell them for us, and we're gonna sell them at all the kids got their own copies, but then we're gonna sell them at our school store.
Very
That's
nice.
awesome.
I love it.
Very nice.
Thank
Yeah, it
you.
was fun.
That's
Thank you.
great.
Thank you very
you.
much. Oh, look, they're all,
Yeah, that's great. I love that we're giving our sixth graders opportunities to do middle school things like, being able to do the sports and stuff as well.
Yeah.
thank you. Okay, next we have Mr. Darden Freeman. He's going to introduce our school showcase presentation tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, and excited to be here and call up with me Emery Honaker. Now, I have to tell you, when Emery woke up this morning 12 hours ago, he had no idea he was going to be standing in front of you all. It was supposed to be our SGA president, Dominic Napolitano. Dominic, unfortunately, is ill and could not be here tonight. So the next in the line of succession would be our vice president, Cameron Hope. Cameron Hope was also ill and was not at school tonight. So following the line of succession, it fell to our secretary and Emery Honaker, who is a 7th grader. Emery is our secretary, and so I called Emery in this morning about 10 o'clock, said, Emery, I need a big favor. I said, can you pinch hit for my pinch hitter tonight and speak to the board? And so Emery said, yeah, sure, I'd be glad to do that. And so Emery's filling in for me tonight.
Good evening, Dr. Joyce and members of the school board. My name is Emery Honaker, and I am the secretary of the DIS, STA, and a 7th grader. I am here this evening to inform you about the events that have been happening at Dalton Intermediate over the past few months. We are off to a great start at DIS and have had a busy first 9 weeks. To begin with, and probably most importantly, DIS was fully accredited for our SOL test this past spring. We also just learned that DIS was on track under the accountability system. Our system is due to the hard work of all our students and teachers. DIS is also off to a great start in terms of academics this fall, and we are expected to see improvements and come testing time in the spring. We've had a very successful fall in extracurricular activities, as well as our DIS football team recently completed their third straight undefeated season with a record of 6-0. Also, many of our seventh graders were on the Rec Senior League Super Bowl championship team. This fall, we also competed in volleyball, cross country, cheerleading, and swimming. For many of our students, this was their first experience in interscholastic competition. These sports help connect our students to school and boost our school pride. Recently, the board decided to allow participants of 6th graders in middle school sports. This will help increase the number of sports we can offer and increase participation. Off the athletic fields, the DIS Bobcats have also excelled. We had several 8th graders who were members of the Rafford Regiment Marching Band, the best band in the land, and competed in several competitions and received countless awards this fall. Our drama department presented the fall production of Little Women, and DIS students were involved in this production. In the classroom, we continue to do exciting things. Mr. Lane's class explored rocketry and launched model rockets. Ms. Ferguson held her annual career day in her class. She will present more about it after I finish. Our annual 8th grade field trip to the Little River Dam had to be postponed because of the flooding from Hurricane Helene, but we are hopeful to get it rescheduled for the spring. In our other classes, teachers continue to look for exaggerating ways to present material and make schools exciting and fun. We have also recently held our DIS elections and have a functioning and hardworking student government association, which will be conducting several projects throughout the school year. Mostly important, we welcome back our classmate Harper Owens, who returned to us last week. We had a school-wide assembly to learn about her injury needs and while she is at school. Harper is currently ill and is in the hospital at Wake Forest. So we ask you to please continue to keep Harper and her family in your thoughts and prayers. As we begin the winter, we have several new things underway at DIS. Our new sports season just started, and both our girls and boys basketball teams were victorious in their season openers last night. They are playing again tonight at Glenford. DIS has a wrestling team of our own that competed in their first match last week and will wrestle again in Galex. Supporting our athletic teams, we have our cheerleading squad that helps to bring energy to our competitions. DIS will also participate in the Winter Pep Rally in a few weeks. Our band and choir are working in protection for our winter concerts to set everyone in the holiday mood. The DIS art students are working on creating submissions to be entered into the Scholastics art competition. As you can see, we have been very busy this fall at DIS and are off to a great start of our school year. Thank you for your time and allowing me to update you on the events at DIS.
Emery, thank you so much. Seriously, this morning at 10 o'clock, I called him into my office, and he said, sure, no problem. Wasn't terrified at all to come, and I said, no, the whole school board's going to be there. Dr. Joyce is going to be there, and this is really not that big a deal, but he was gung-ho and jumped right in, and I appreciate you pinch hitting so much tonight, Emery. That was awesome. I also want to introduce to you Miss Shannon Ferguson. Miss Ferguson teaches 7th grade English at Dalton Intermediate School. She did a really awesome project. She does a really awesome project each year. called Career Day, where she brings in a number of people from throughout our community to help students investigate and explore different careers and then have a writing assignment about it. So I'll turn it over to Ms. Ferguson.
Oh, perfect, right here. Hi. While he's getting that pulled up, I have pictures, which is why I brought a presentation. I guess I probably didn't need a full-blown thing, but I do want to recognize some other people who helped me with this. This was not a solo effort. First of all, my team teacher, Amber Ratcliffe, she always goes along with my crazy ideas. Dr. Rebecca Kaufman is one of the biggest helps with this. She obviously loans us the use of the library. Thank you. And helps me do a lot of preparation. Suzanne Saunders was really big this year. Last year we actually did it in the spring, so she was in the middle of testing season and I was not trying to pull her away from that. So we modified the timing of it a little bit this year so that she could be much more helpful with that, and I really appreciate her help. Dr. Sproul and Dr. Little both helped as well. Neither one of them could be there for the day, but they did pull a lot of resources and help me contact some people as well. So basically the showcase, or the career day, is to kind of pull in as many parents first and then community members if we run out of parent volunteers to showcase their careers. And it is all 17 career clusters. So it's a very full library. And then we allow the 7th graders to completely freely choose which career clusters they want to go to. They get kind of a preview through either Ms. Saunders or myself or both as to kind of what the career clusters mean, but then they get to completely kind of roam as they're there. We're really big on encouraging them to participate and ask a lot of really good questions, and then they reflect it on the experience as well. So my kind of goals going into this last year and then continuing it this year, the biggest one was obviously for them to become aware of the opportunities in different career fields. Not just kind of your typical, oh, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a whatever. Some more local opportunities, definitely some more lesser known opportunities. And then again, beyond those normal jobs. One of my favorite things was we had an education sector, and not a single person in the education sector was a teacher. It was other parts of education, which is really cool, so things they don't really think about. And then selfishly, I keep this in the English department because English is unfortunately hard to get kids to buy into sometimes. They think, I'm never going to read a book after I leave high school or whatever. And I'm like, well, you may not read a book, but you're going to read something. And you're going to write a lot of things. So we rely heavily on our adults to be like, okay, these are all the real life ways that I use reading and writing in my job on a day-to-day basis. And we ask them to bring in examples if they can, which most of them do, which is really great. And then kind of one of the byproducts of this last year that I saw that I really tried to encourage this year was that they really learned how to interact positively with adults. Some of them kind of blow me away a little bit, actually, because they're really shy in class, but they do a great job asking questions and things like that. So just some stats. We did have much more adult participation this year than last year. I was a little bit more prepared. So we had 16 plus local community members. That's just a collection of some of the people that came through. We really, really appreciate those people, so thank you if you know anybody of those. And then we had, more importantly, 16 parent volunteers. And this is my favorite part because the kids who see their parents in there are like really proud of them, and they're like, my mom's here, my dad's here, whatever. And actually one of those is, that's Marquis' grandfather, actually, who came from, I believe, Volvo, to come and present. And so they're just so excited to see their parents there and have them present. So. And then these are just some pictures. We did have the mayor. That was kind of cool, and some other city employees. NRCC is really big for this, which is where we rely heavily on Dr. Sproul, and Ms. Saunders got a lot of NRCC people to come in for us. So lots of hands-on stuff happening, which is really cool. Thompson and Lytton is amazing, I will just say. They always bring in the plans from a card for the kids to look at, which is really cool. And they talk about, one of my favorite things a lot of the presenters do actually is talk about the options for if you don't want to get a 4-year degree. Because we have a lot of students who are going to end up with a 2-year degree or a high school diploma, and so they give those options as well. Oh, and I forgot Miss Bev Edwards' kids helped as well when we needed some extra hands. And just some fun facts, these are our top 6 career clusters. They did do a writing assignment afterwards, so I went through and just looked at kind of the top ones, but 15 out of the 17 were represented in all 86, 89 of my student samples, so really cool. We're looking forward to keeping it going. Definitely want to be an annual thing. Suzanne did say something about expanding it to 8th grade. I said, if you're going to do that, I'm going to let you take the reins, but you go right ahead. And then obviously, if you guys ever want to volunteer, we'll always have you. So give us a call next fall. And that's it.
Thank you.
Oh, you were cooking with me. That was good. Thank you guys.
And how nicely does that tie into our new accountability framework? So what a nice segue. Dr. McDaniel is here to share with us some very preliminary findings that the VDOE has passed along to us in the last few days about where we would stack up if we were to use last year's data with this year's accountability system. So Dr. McDaniel.
Okay, yes.
A lot of which revolves around what she just explained to us was career clusters and work-based learning and CTE. So
Right.
very nice.
So we are proud to say that our results looked really good. Nope. I'll just let you go. So by way of review, okay. This is, again, what we were looking at. This was part of Dr. Joyce's presentation last month, I think. So there's a little bit different percentages for each different level, so elementary, middle, and high. And then, of course, Bell Heath, they get a composite score based on some middle school and mostly elementary scores. So we're looking at growth, mastery, and readiness, and then those charts. This is just, again, a review of what you've already heard before. But high school also has a graduation index, and it's by cohort, and those cohorts are created by the year that a student enters the 9th grade for the first time. Still not working.
Oh, worked for me. No, just the arrows.
That's what I was hitting.
Okay. Well, let me do it for you.
Okay, I think we missed one. Go back one, yeah. So I wanted to provide you, if you have the electronic copy of this will take you to the website. So if you don't mind clicking on that first one, is actually a link that's underlined. So if you go to, there should be a link. Is it open? It's not showing up. It took you there. Well, anyway, if you go to this link and then go to School Data Toolkit and then go to School Data and Cumulative Score, this is how you'll then be able to download this spreadsheet, and you'll find our scores along with everyone else's in the whole state. So that's just a little snip of what our scores look like, but then I'm going to go into each one individually. But I just wanted to provide you with where you could go find this information for yourself, because it is publicly available on the Virginia Department of Education website. And right now there's a splash page as soon as you go to the homepage of VDOE that will bring this up and show you how to get there from the start. Okay. Oh, well, it's not showing up here. It's okay. Oh, there's the website.
Hang on. I got too many windows.
It's okay. Okay. So if we look at each school, if you look at the bottom, I gave you the chart that shows you what the different ratings are, from distinguished, on track, to off track, to needs intensive support. So of course we want to be in on track or better, and we are this close to being in the distinguished category for Bell Heath and McHarg. And again, based on, next slide, please. Yes. So based on these different scores, so I've given you each of the index scores and then the overall index score. So Bell Heath and McHarg scores are, based on Bell Heath's performance too. So 88.5. So that's really something to be proud of. That's really awesome. And then the next one is for Dalton. And they have an 84.2. And again, you see that the the categories are weighted a little bit differently for middle school than they were for our elementary students. So again, that really strong score there, we're proud of that. And then the last one gives us the high school score, and I gave you 2 scores there because the one that's publicly available is the one that's on top in bold, the 84.6. But we had gotten another preliminary score that included work-based learning opportunities in that 3E category. And if, by that one, we were actually in the distinguished category. So that's really awesome. One difference for this time, there's the 3E, that's education, enrollment, and enlistment. And before in the CCCRI, which we spoke about before, was the area that we needed some improvement, you only got to count a student one time for one of those things that they may have done. But many students have taken a dual enrollment